Well, hey! Hey there, my fellow Tarhans. I'm Captain Beans, and welcome to HighFleet Builds, where today I'm going to show you something that's quite interesting that I figured out whilst I was just testing this design right here, the monitor. So, this ship that you're seeing here is my monitor design, which I've made a video about. But basically what I've done differently with this design is that I've slightly adjusted some things to fit the 1.16 changes. And also I replaced the 100mm guns with 130mm guns because I thought, those are fun. And you might also notice that the landing gear is a little bit weird, but I'll show you in a second why that is. Alright, now let's head right down. Let's head down. Okay, so if you press G, it activates your landing gear, as you can probably see by the picture on the bottom left. And if you are careful enough, and if you land the ship, you can basically land the ship in combat. Look, I've landed my ship. So you can see my ship is staying on two of these landing gears, and basically my whole bottom side is protected by terrain. Of course. Uh-oh. Yeah, the only problem is that the landing gear might be destroyed, and when that does happen, you do have to rise again. But I just wanted to illustrate the point that you can basically land onto the ground in ship-to-ship combat. And so with this very interesting thing that you can do in close quarter combat, I kind of want to build a ship that is specifically designed for this sort of combat. Of course, this monitor design is not perfect for this sort of tactic, so I'm going to build a slightly different design. And so, roll the montage. Okay, so I don't know what I just built here, but let's test it for landing.
Начали торможение. Метров, всем приготовиться. Все. Всем благодарю за работу.
So when you land this thing, it seems to be quite low to the ground. So there's definitely a good amount of protection from off the bottom of the ship. But it's also not so low. So okay. Alright, so we've tested how this thing lands, and now let's see how this thing performs in combat. Let's go against some small ships. Let's try to land this thing. We do have to be wary of Zenith missiles. Those are quite deadly. Uh-oh. Oh, we didn't even have to land it. Okay, so the first test wasn't really successful because, well, first of all, the terrain wasn't so good, but also because I didn't really have to land. I just needed to shoot those ships and that's it, they were dead. I feel like it's better to test against maybe one large ship. Yeah, so we have a Griffon. Let's see how this thing performs against a Griffon. Where is the Griffon? Is it up there? Okay, it's up there. So we have time to land. We have time to land. No worries. So let's be careful about it still. He's using proximity fuses, which is really bad against landing gear. Okay, let's just not too fast. Okay. I've landed the ship and it seems to be fine. Let's try to shoot the Griffon down. Now, one big disadvantage that I'm noticing is that the aiming line is virtually non-existent. So you kind of need to know how to aim. But hey, the test with the Griffon worked well. Alright, so this thing has performed quite well when dealing with one large ship because there was enough time to land this thing, but I feel like this thing is not entirely well protected, especially against R5 Zenith missiles. As you probably saw from the first test, a bunch of these small ships launched R5 Zenith missiles, which penetrated the armor and even destroyed a generator right up here. So what I'm thinking to do is either layer the armor, or I could potentially change from heavy armor to possibly spaced out light armor or something like that. So let's see how this goes. I wonder if I can use flight decks maybe as armor. Which, by the way, I did also make a video about using flight decks as armor. And if you have not seen it, I really suggest you check it out. Because flight decks are kind of an interesting thing that you can use as armor. So let's just put some of this armor and we'll see how this thing performs. Now I am going to keep the heavy armor for the bottom of the ship so that it still protects the engine and stuff like that. But otherwise, I think that should be good. Maybe layer one more. Actually, I think it's fine. Let's see how this thing performs against small ships. Okay, so I've landed, and yeah, it seems to be working. So let's just get hit by these guys. And yeah, flight decks offer good protection from machine gun fire, so that's good. Okay, let's just layer a little bit more. And we'll see how that goes. And let's maybe test it against one large ship. Okay, let's try this now again with the Griffon. So let's just try to land this thing really quickly, and then we'll just take out the Griffon. Okay, I've landed. Now I should probably shoot down this Griffon. The problem is that I cannot see this ship. What just happened? Actually, okay, I think I know what probably happened. So, flight decks apparently are not so good against high caliber rounds, and what probably happened is that high caliber rounds probably have penetrated the flight deck armor and hit my ammo boxes. So yeah, maybe flight decks are not as good of armor as they used to be in 1.15. I guess they probably changed something about the flight decks in 1.16, because I don't remember the flight decks being so bad as armor. Alright, so let's try using this triangular spaced armor, which I've also demonstrated in one of my videos about spaced armor. So let's see how this works. Alright, so the enemy ship of this test is the Archangel, or Archangel, however you would like to pronounce it. I seem to be crashing a lot. Okay, maybe let's try different landing gear. That's slightly larger, so it should be stronger, I think. And maybe let's make the engine's a little bit more powerful. So yeah, let's test it against a large ship again. So it is the Archangel again. Oh, let's go. Okay. Oh, I didn't even have to land. Well, let's try this again, but this time I'm going to land first and then kill the ship. First land, then kill. Okay, I've landed, and so let's shoot the Archangel. As you can see, this is very effective against the Archangel, because the Archangel has a weakness on the bottom sides. And so, the conclusion of this idea and this build is that, yeah, you can definitely take advantage of the tactic of just landing on the terrain and then just using top armor to protect yourself from artillery fire and these little motherfuckers, which in 1.16 these motherfuckers are spammed so much that it is just madness. And so, my fellow Tarhans, I hope you enjoyed this one, and thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.